Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray, and we are here to jump into episode 13 of The Next Prince. This is the penultimate episode, you guys. Can you believe we've gotten here? Last episode, CHAKRI got shot. He better not die, y'all. I swear to fucking God. Anyway, CHAKRI got shot. Prince Wasim revealed himself to be the person behind a bunch of the more recent stuff that has happened to Kanin and the royal family and Grandpa. And then it was all out of revenge because his wife died from the lung disease that's killing all the regular people because of the mining practices of the king, right? The king, we also got to reveal that the king is also dying from the same lung cancer, lung disease, whatever. And apparently making money for his clan is more important than even his own health, even his own life. All right, sir. It also revealed that the king's closest aide and attendant was also in on the plan and has been sabotaging from the start. He got a bullet to the brain because Pop came back with headshots. But unfortunately, CHAKRI still got shot. So we've interrupted the competition. So that's a best. I don't know if we're going to hold another one or if they're going to abolish the monarchy or something. But something's going to happen. Honestly, it's probably time to just jump into the episode. Like I said, I don't have too much time today. I'm filming a bunch of stuff, so I'm trying to get through and get caught up a little bit because I'm a little bit behind, but at least on my filming. So we're just going to jump in and watch the episode. I need to see if CHAKRI is okay. Okay? Okay. Let's go. All right.
พระองค์จะให้หม่อมฉันกับคณินจากไปทั้งแบบนี้โดยไม่ได้พบหน้าเจ้าชายทารินเลยหรือเพคะขอหม่อมฉันรออีกสัก2-3 วัน
ไม่ได้สถานการณ์ตอนนี้มันวุ่นวายมากเกินไปทารินเองก็เห็นด้วยกับเราและฝากให้ขอโทษเจ้าและคณินด้วยที่มาส่งไม่ได้คณินหายตกใจได้อย่างเรื่องเมื่อวาน
คณินไม่เป็นไรเพคะ
แล้วเจ้าล่ะขนาดในวังมีทหารอารักขาอยู่ตลอดเวลามันยังกล้าบุกเข้ามาเชื่อเราเถอะไม่มีเวลาแล้วจริงๆพวกเจ้าต้องรีบไป
หม่อมฉันเข้าใจเพคะแต่ว่า
ต้องรีบไปและรักษาตัวเองไว้ให้ดี
So that's probably Sharan's mom there, her royal guard. I figured that. I don't think I said it on screen, but I figured that. I knew that they were connected, that their disappearances/deaths were connected. I guess I just wasn't sure if... I didn't verbalize that I thought that his mom was actually the princess's secret royal guard.
เพคะหม่อมฉันทูลลา
So this is the night I assume that they died. It's raining too, so we're gonna get some of Sharan's trauma.
พี่ตาอยู่ก่อนเราเชื่อในฝีมือเจ้าช่วยอารักขาเจ้าหญิงคุณิตาและเจ้าชายคณินเราจะส่งทหารฝีมือดีไปช่วยดูแลด้วยส่วนชรันนั้นจะอยู่ในความดูแลของเราจนกว่าเจ้าจะกลับจากอังกฤษ
หม่อมฉันเกรงว่าอาจไม่เหมาะสมเพคะ
ตระกูลพิทักษ์เทวาจงรับภักดีมาตลอดเราจะให้ชรันเป็นหลานบุญธรรมของเราคงจะไม่มีอะไรไม่เหมาะสมมั้งตามนี้
ขอพระทัยเพคะ
So is he she apparently knows that he's about to arrange something there. Pause before we keep going. I'm actually a little bit I'm gonna say something, and I don't want you guys to take it the wrong way, because this is going to be a bit of a criticism of the show, and I know how sometimes BL fans don't like when you criticize a BL or whatever. I don't fucking know. But I will. I think that the Chawarin story has been the weakest of the show. And the fact that we are only now getting more information about his mom, what happened with his mom and everything like that here in the penultimate episode, I think was a mistake. We saw one scene of him in the rain. It was a quick flash. And then one scene of her saying goodbye to him. And then that was it. And I think it's kind of wild that we didn't have him actively investigating what happened to Kanin's mom, and then learning, we could have had a whole storyline of him investigating Kanin's mom's death and discovering that his mom was somehow involved or connected, right? We could have had a whole storyline for Chawarin. And I feel like his whole storyline has purely been about being a romantic interest. And I think that, unfortunately, it was a bit weak. It's a bit weak for Chawarin's character. And we could have had more reveals about what happened this night during the rain, far more seeded throughout. We have 14 episodes to get more hints of what happened back 18 years ago, however long it was ago. However long it was ago. We had 14 episodes to get more fleshed out there, and we're waiting until the penultimate to do it. And I don't know how I feel about that. I think that it's a weaker choice to do that. I think we could have had a stronger storyline for Chawarin of his own, and we could have actually gotten more hints of the truth earlier. We don't need the full truth. I understand it's a bit of a mystery, but we could have had pieces that we are learning far more spread out. Just saying. Just saying.
และสำหรับข่าวที่ไม่พูดถึงไม่ได้เลยในขณะนี้นะคะนั่นก็คือเหตุการณ์ในการแข่งขันราชประเพณีรอบยิงธนูที่เมืองมีนานครินทร์ค่ะอย่างที่ท่านผู้ชมเห็นเลยนะคะว่าในระหว่างการแข่งขันยิงธนูได้เกิดเหตุระเบิดขึ้นค่ะแล้วก็ยังมีการรายงานด้วยนะคะว่ามีบุคคลภายนอกลักลอบเข้าสู่เขตการแข่งขันเพื่อสังหารท่านหญิงท่านชายค่ะ
I love how they use the show footage for that. Was there a cameraman on the scene that saw the dead bodies? Come on.
อันนี้อาจจะเป็นอะไรหรือเปล่าลูกเล็กน้อยพะยะค่ะแต่จัดการเรียบร้อยแล้วลูกไม่เป็นไรจริงๆพะยะค่ะแล้วอาการของเสด็จปู่เป็นยังไงบ้างพะยะค่ะ
No, how is CHAKRI? Where's CHAKRI?
เพียงแต่ว่า
ขออภัยพะยะค่ะอาการขององค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตพ้นขีดอันตรายแล้วพะยะค่ะ
No, the first thing I want to know about is CHAKRI. Was he shot? Did it miss him? Is he okay? Or is he dead? Give me the full truth.
Pilan ขอบคุณที่คอยปกป้องนินและอสวเทวาทินมาตลอดนะครับ
มึงปกป้องมันทำไมมึงไม่รู้เลยว่าคนที่ทำให้แม่มึงตายก็คือมัน
ที่เจ้าชายวสินพูด
Why have they not shown me CHAKRI?
บอกนินได้ไหมว่ามันหมายถึง
Why have they not told me that Chakri is okay at the very
ทำให้
least?
แม่พี่รันต้อง
นินฟังพี่นะ พี่รู้เรื่องในนี้อยู่แล้วครับ เรื่องในอดีตมันไม่ได้เกี่ยวอะไรกับนินเลย พี่ไม่แน่ใจว่านินควรรู้เรื่องนี้ไหม
Okay, this actually makes me even more insistent that we should have gotten those scenes earlier. If he already knew and they're not going to make it an investigation or something, then we, the audience, should have known with him. And it should have been a point of tension and angst between him knowing that the grandfather was involved or somehow caused or whatever his own mother's death. That should have been a point of tension for between him and the king, and even him and Kanin a little bit, and we, the audience, should have known about it. Like, that actually makes it, like, the fact that this wasn't something that he is finding out now makes it even more bewildering why they wouldn't reveal that earlier for us too. Like, maybe not the first episode, but like by episode 6, we should have known. Along with Sharan.
ทำไมล่ะครับ
And it should have been...
พี่ไม่อยากให้นินคิดมาก
Like, I understand him not telling... I understand him not telling Kanin, but we, the audience, should have known. That's what I mean.
ให้นินรู้ทั้งหมดเถอะครับ เริ่มจากเรื่องคนที่ทำให้แม่พี่จากไปคือเสด็จปู่เหรอ
ที่จริง พี่ก็เคยคิดแบบนั้น แต่มันไม่ใช่
Yeah, it was probably just an accident, but him pushing them out and rushing them out maybe is what caused the accident. I thought there were other soldiers.
ชิตา เราขอโทษ
ท่านหญิงขอโทษหม่อมฉันทำไมดีครับ
ชิตาต้องเสียสละชีวิตครอบครัวเพื่อมาดูแลเรา
เป็นเกียรติของหม่อมฉันต่างหากเพคะ
Okay, yeah, we saw this part. So obviously, but I feel like this... So they were moving to the UK regardless, right? Is what I'm getting from this. Is that, you know, to protect them, he wanted the princess and his grandson to move to the UK away from Emily, right? Who was he afraid of harming them? A rival? Another country? One of the other families? Obviously, this is a very heavy moment, so she knew that it was going to be a long parting. Like, although why she wouldn't insist on taking her son with them on this journey, if it's going to be like more than a few months, then I would imagine she would want him with her. But I guess she would be divided, her attention would be divided between her own child and the princess and prince. So, fair enough, I guess. So the expectation was that they were all gonna move to the UK for like 20 years until Kanin was grown.
เมื่อวันหนึ่งที่เขาโตขึ้น เขาจะเข้าใจหม่อมฉันเองดีค่ะ
Mama's really pretty. Both of them, actually. Super pretty. Okay, so they're about to get run down. by another car. Kidnap attempt. Ooh. Get down. Lower your head.
หม่อมฉันขออภัย
Yeah, and it's like
ทั้งที่
heavily
เดินทางก
raining.
ระทันหันขนาดนี้ยังตามมาได้ในวังต้องมีหนอนบอดไส้
Yeah, the other guy, right? Oof. Why were there not more
อย่างที่นินรู้อยู่
soldiers?
แล้วว่าเป็นฝีมือของเจ้าชายวสินทร์ที่ต้องการลอบปลงพระชนเจ้าหญิงคุนิตาและตัวนี้
Okay. So his wife died a long time ago. Because he's been planning this.
คนที่เห็นเหตุการณ์ในคืนนั้นก็คือคุณทัศนัย
เจ้าหญิงเจ้าหญิงจิตาจิตาจิตาเอาไปแล้วไป
Yeah. So he finished the job of moving to the UK with the baby.
.ตอนที่คุณทัศนัยมาที่บ้านพี่คงแอบตามขึ้นรถคุณทัศนัยไป
Okay, probably. Oh, so he was there to see the accident. Okay, he snuck into his car earlier. Got it.
คงเป็นเพราะวันนั้น
He saw his mom's dead body. Oof.
เลยทำให้พี่ไม่ชอบฝน
Yeah, I'm sorry. We needed to have this scene. Not the scene of him telling him necessarily, but we needed to see this moment way earlier than the penultimate.
ถ้างั้นที่เจ้าชายวสินทร์พูดมัน
Or
ก็
at
ไม่
least
ผิดนะ
some
สิ
of
ครับ
it.
เพราะว่าสวัสดิ์เทวนาที
ไม่ใช่ครับ หน้าที่ที่พิทักษ์เทวามีต่ออัศวเทวทินคือปกป้องดูแล รักษาและซื่อสัตย์ต่ออัศวเทวทิน ไม่ใช่เพราะเป็นคำสั่งใคร แต่เป็นเพราะคำสัญญาครับ
ว่าพี่ไม่โกรธนินเหรอ
No, definitely not.
แม่พี่ต้องจากไปแต่นินกลับเป็นคนที่รอด
You were a baby, first of all.
พี่ดูเป็นคนไม่มีเหตุผลขนาด
Right?
นั้น
That would be crazy for him to resent you.
ถ้าเป็นนินไม่รู้เลยว่า
You wouldn't be resentful of that either, sir. You're a good person.
พี่ไม่โกรธนิน
I don't know.
พี่ไม่โกรธใครเลยครับ ทุกอย่าง เป็นเรื่องที่ไม่มีใครอยากให้เกิดขึ้น
Like, what we needed this scene earlier, and then obviously they have no idea who, like, obviously they're not going to talk about Prince Wasim and that he was the one that did this. But, like, they could say, you know, oh, we have no idea who did it, even to this day. You know, something like that. And then we could have an actual investigation run by Sharan, not his best friend off screen. You know? I don't know. I think that just could have been seeded throughout better. This story could have been seeded throughout. And I feel like Sharan has been an afterthought in the writing. In a lot of ways, actually.
เจ้าชายวสินทร์เองก็สิ้นพระชนม์แล้ว
แต่นินจะสู้หน้าพี่ได้ยังไงอะเหมือนนินเป็นต้นเหตุที่ทำให้แม่พี่
ตอนนั้นนินยังเป็นทารกอยู่เลยนินจะเป็นต้นเหตุได้ยังไงครับ
แปลว่า
พี่ต้องขอบคุณมากกว่า ที่นินกลับมาที่มารีกับพี่ และถ้าพี่ไม่เจอนินพี่คงไม่รู้สึกแบบนี้
รู้สึกแบบนี้
He loves you, babe. Where's CHAKRI?
รู้สึกว่า
Y'all, if they don't tell me how CHAKRI is doing soon, I swear to fucking God.
และห่วงแหนสิ่งนั้นเท่าชีวิต
They gonna do some dumb shit like have CHAKRI just come up like normal. Like I can anyway. Yeah, I better cut the CHAKRI, I swear to fucking God. It's gonna be the grandfather. Oh, it's CHAKRI.
การผ่าตัดเสร็จเรียบร้อยดี นินไม่ต้องเป็นห่วง
Yo,
ชาคีแค่ต้องพัก
he better be okay. CHAKRI, how you feeling, baby?
ชาครีพ่อปาชาครีพ่อปาเดี๋ยว
Yeah,
no,
don't
no,
sit
no,
up.
no.
You got shot, sir.
ไม่ได้นะพี่ค่ะ
ไม่ได้อะไร เดี๋ยว คนเพิ่งฟื้นจะลุกขึ้นมาทำไม ชาครีเรามาเยี่ยมหายเร็วๆนะ
บาทบอกปุ๊บกระหม่อมก็หายปั๊บเลยพี่ค่ะ
It's kind of criminal that they made us wait 17 minutes to find out that CHAKRI is okay. Why did they do that, y'all? Everybody knows that if we're coming out the last episode, the first thing people want to know is how CHAKRI's doing. Nobody give a fuck about the grandfather. Nobody give a fuck about the king. Why was this not the first scene? This should have been the pre-credit scene. At least the post-credit scene.
บาทปลอดภัยดีใช่ไหมพี่ค่ะ
ยังจะห่วงคนอื่นอีก และปลอดภัยดี
Where's the boo that was
เป็นไงบ้างชาครี
talking to him during the club, in the club? Maybe he was just like, you know,
พ่อจะมาบอกว่าอาการของเจ้าหมาชีวิต
momentary
ดีขึ้นแล้ว
flirtation, not
แต่
a
ผมจะต้อง
boyfriend.
เสด็จกลับไปรักษาตัวต่อที่กรุงดาร์วินตามคำแนะนำของคณะแพทย์เราคงต้องกลับกรุงดาร์วินกันแล้ว
พะยะค่ะ
ท่านผู้ชมคะยังจำคลิปของเจ้าชายคาวินจากประเทศบูจากันได้ไหมคะ ที่พระองค์มาร่วมเดินขบวนประท้วงที่อัศวเทวาทินในเอมิลีของเราค่ะ คลิปนั้นเนี่ยนะคะตอนนี้กลายเป็นไวรัลดังไปทั่วเลย หลังจากนั้นก็เลยมีข่าววงใน บอกมาว่าเจ้าชายคาวินค่ะถูกเรียกตัวกลับประเทศบูจาโดยด่วน
Yeah, this is
แล้วก็
messy.
มีประกาศจากสำนักราชวังประเทศบูจาด้วยนะคะว่า การกระทำดังกล่าวของเจ้าชายคาวินนั้น เป็นการกระทำโดยพละการ ทางประเทศบูจาไม่ขอเกี่ยวข้องกับความขัดแย้งภายในประเทศเอมิลีค่ะ
เขาเว้นน่าจะงานเข้า
เราในฐานะรักษาการแทนองค์เจ้ามหาชีวิต ขอประกาศว่าเจ้าชายวสินทร์ได้สิ้นพระชนม์แล้ว ขอเชิญท่านยืนไว้อาลัยให้กับเจ้าชายวสินทร์ด้วย
Sorry, did you say in his honor?
Chào
Like
thầy
he
với
wasn't
sự
a
xin
whole
cho lão.
murderer?
ขอเชิญท่านยืนไว้อาลัยให้กับ
That man tried to murder both the king, the prince, both princes of the family, and then killed a whole bunch of other people, by the way, just regular guards. killed a bunch of regular guards, y'all. Like, I'm not saying that he didn't have his reasons because fuck the grandpa, right? Like, fuck the grandpa. I've been okay if he had just actually just murdered the kid, the grandpa, but he tried to murder all 3 houses, princes and princess. Like, children. This is after now that we found out that he actually did murder Kanin's mom, his wife, and tried to murder the baby 20 years ago. What are we doing?
เนื่องจากตอนนี้มีนานครินทร์ไร้ผู้สืบทอดอำนาจปกครองของหัวเมืองมีนานครินทร์จะต้องกลับมาสู่ส่วนกลางเราจะรักษาการควบที่มีนานครินทร์ไปก่อนและการแข่งขันราชประเพณีจะเอาไงต่อเจ้าชายราชตัก
Yeah, good point, because the king could die.
จะคุยในเวลานี้เท่าไหร่นะ
Yeah, but the king could die, so
เจ้าชายรัชตาเองก็คงรู้ดีว่าการแข่งขันรอบแรกไม่โปร่งใสและผลการแข่งยิงธนูก็ถือเป็นโมฆะ
So it'll still come down to the sword fight anyway.
แล้วเราก็ยังไม่สามารถจัดแข่งยิงธนูตามเดิมได้อีกเราจึงอยากมาปรึกษากับพวกท่านก่อน
Also, one of the heirs is
หมาย
injured.
ถึงว่าจะไม่มีการแข่งขันอย่างนั้น
I mean, we probably should postpone it for a few months so that everybody can be healthy again.
เราอยากให้อาการขององค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตดีขึ้นก่อน เมื่อถึงเวลานั้นเนี่ยเราค่อยมาพิจารณาเรื่องการแข่งขันราชประเพณีกันอีกครั้งขอพูดตรงๆเลยนะเจ้าชายทารินหากองค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตเป็นอะไรขึ้นมาการแข่งขันยังต้องดำเนินต่อไปไม่ใช่หรือเจ้าชายรัชตะท่านพูดออกมาได้ยังไงเรื่องนี้
There was a whole terrorist attack.
เป็นเช่นที่ท่านชายรัชตะพูดตอนนี้เราได้ลองประเมินสถานการณ์ดูแล้วเราก็ยังไม่สามารถรับรองความปลอดภัยของราชวงศ์ทุกพระองค์ได้แต่ถ้าหากเกิดอะไรขึ้นจะไม่แย่ยิ่งกว่าเดิมหรือ
Okay, but what's going to happen to the 4th territory? Are we going to install a new family? Is there not like any kind of, you know, satellite family members there? So a cousin of a cousin of a cousin, you know, like something that we can move into place. I don't know if I believe that there's no cousin of a cousin, you know, who could assume main family duties there. I mean, it would be a shock and it would be out of nowhere, but I feel like, to be honest, okay, I'm going to be honest. The fact that he hasn't had an heir in that long would be untenable, I think, for the ruling royal family. They would want to have some kind of successor, even if it's not his direct bloodline. It should be like some kind of, you know, child of a cousin or something like that. Something to assure that the bloodline of that family will continue and that territory will continue. An adopted heir, something. He should have something. It's kind of ridiculous that apparently for the last 20... See, I thought his wife died recently, like within the last, 10 years, 5-10 years, something like that. But now knowing that it was a long time ago and he attempted to kill Kanin when he was a baby because of this, the fact that they've let him not have an heir for over 20 years is a bit would his clan allow it? I don't know. I just find it a little bit far-fetched that there's no heir at all, even if it's not his... I completely understand him not getting married again and having another child, or having a child at all. I completely understand that. But like I said, it should be like a little brother or like a cousin or a nephew or something like that. That should be the heir or the successor.
ไอ้พวกอัศวะเทวาทิน
มันไม่ต้องการให้ฉันได้บัลลังก์มันถึงได้ยกเลิกการแข่งขันให้เป็นโมฆะแบบนี้
No, it's because there was a terrorist attack.
อะไรแกวะเนี่ยเฉยเหรอ กระหม่อมก็ไม่พอใจพะยะค่ะ นี่คือท่าไม่พอใจของแกเหรอ
No, this is clearly fear because you're psychotic.
แกนี่มันไม่ได้เรื่องเลยนะอย่านะพะยะค่ะหลีกไปหลีกไป
Oh, is he about to murder his father?
กระหม่อมแทนเถิดพะยะค่ะพูดอะไรของแกวะฮะนี่แกคิดว่าแกเป็นใครฮะขอประทานอภัยพะยะค่ะกระหม่อมมีบางควรนี่บางควรนี่บางควรจะมายืนเกะกะ
Oh, Lord. Yeah, I think he's about to murder his father, and I'm here for it! Let's just start strangling. I mean, we got one prince down. We got one prince already down. Might as well domino it. Let's just kill him. Y'all.
จะให้รามินสั่งสอนแกว่าใครคือนายใครคือทาสกันแน่
What? Is he gonna make him whip him?
เหยียบหน้ามันเหยียบหน้ามัน
There's no way he's... No, this is his breaking point. He's never going to do that. He is not going to do that. He is going to just murder you.
กระหม่อมขอปฏิเสธแกอยากจะให้ฉันโมโหมากกว่านี้ใช่ไหมฉันสั่งให้แกเหยียบหน้ามันเดี๋ยวนี้เหยียบสิ
Y'all, he's going to just murder this man.
Yep.
Don't do it. Just kill the king or kill this guy, whatever, prince, the grand prince.
เหยียบหน้ามันสิ
Oh, don't do it. Oh, I hate that he did it.
อย่างนั้นคราวนี้รู้แล้วใช่ไหมว่าใครคือนายใครคือทาส
I kind of hate that he did it. Is he going to see himself in the mirror? Oh, it's something like that? Oh, God. It's tough. I thought we were about to get like a whole ass murder written up this fucking carpet. Like I said, we already losing princes. Might as well just keep the train going. Destabilize this whole fucking country. Oh, he's mad.
He got.
Yeah, he's super mad. No, he ain't gonna. No, he's really mad.
ที่ผ่านมากำลังใจ
Yeah, like, didn't you just tell him I can keep you safe? Trust me, sir. What did I say? Unearned confidence that he could do that. This is a mess, y'all. And he's allowed to be angry. Obviously, he's in a really fucked up situation. So even though I'm mad, I'm more like mad at the writing that we didn't make this a moment. Either if you're not going to have him murder his father, which I would have been here for, but if we're not going to do that, because I guess you can't have a main character be a murderer or something. I don't know. Whatever. But if we're not going to have him murder his father, then have him say no, push his father over, and then just run out. You know, go to the cave or something. You know, like you don't know what to do, so he just ran. You know, that kind of situation. But maybe that would be too cliche. Would that be too cliche? I don't know. I feel like we could have just had this be a moment, a breaking point for him. Like he's not going to do that, you know.
กระหม่อมน้อยใจแต่เป็นเพราะว่ากระหม่อมรู้ว่ามีฝ่าบาทอยู่เพราะว่าฝ่าบาทจะปกป้องกระหม่อมเราก็ปกป้องเธอมาเสมอไม่ใช่หรอ
Debatable.
ที่ผ่านมาก็ไม่มีใครกล้ามายุ่งกับเธอทั้งนั้นแต่ไม่ใช่กับเจ้าชายราชทัดไม่ใช่ไหมเพคะ
Right? Like he the one that's most been beating on him. Like what are we talking about here, sir? I think also this moment and conversation should have been in an earlier episode. Because we're only going to have one episode to unpack this moment between them.
ยามแล้วอย่าร้องไห้เลยพี่ท่าน
Yeah, he has a right to feel upset here. And he has a right to feel scared, but I don't know. Is he breaking up with him?
ขอให้มันจบลงที่ตรงนี้เถิดพี่ค่ะ
Yeah, he's breaking up with him.
เธอรู้ตัวหรือเปล่าว่าพูดอะไรออกมา ถึงแม้ว่าเรื่องบนเตียงกระหม่อมจะยอมเป็นทาสรับใช้ฝ่าบาททุกประการไม่ได้แต่ในชีวิตจริงกระหม่อมมีศักดิ์ศรีของกระหม่อมและกระหม่อมต้องการได้รับเกียรติในฐานะคนรักเธอจะไปไหนไม่ได้
Yeah, he's definitely breaking up with him. That's a mess. This should have happened earlier in the series so that we could have a number of episodes dealing with the fallout of this. A breakup in the penultimate episode? We're not going to have enough time to actually heal them and heal this relationship. And make it feel satisfactory, I guess.
ขอบคุณที่ปกป้องนินนะครับ
We finally actually care about our mom now in the penultimate episode. That's another thing. If we had had this story earlier, we could have actually seen Kanin and his thoughts about his mother. Like, we've been so focused on his dad, which it makes sense because he raised him. And his father, and he was getting used to him because they actually, you know, now live in the same area and they're getting to know each other. But we haven't even had a conversation between Kanin and his father about his mother, you know? Like, all that stuff could have been seeded in earlier if we had had the truth a little bit earlier and made this more of an unfolding story instead of having everything dumped in the penultimate.
ขอบคุณนะครับ ที่ดูแลและปกป้องอาสวะเทวาทินงั้นเดี๋ยวนิมไปรอตรงนู้นนะ
At least we're finally getting interiority from Charan. I think that his character up until here has been lacking some focus on him and his story outside of the romantic aspects, you know. Such that his character has felt a little flat for me personally.
ดันรู้ว่าแม่ชอบดอกกุหลาบ
I'll talk about it a little bit more because it's not just about his mom's story.
ดูแล
It's actually about some
รั
other
กษาและซื่อ
things,
สั
and
ต
I'll
ย์ต่อ
talk
ส
about
วั
it
สดิ์เทว
after.
ทินดันทำหน้าที่ในฐานะผู้นำตระกูลพิทักษ์เทวาต่อจากแม่แล้วนะครับ
Sorry about her. We're almost done, I think. Oh, no, we are not. Pause. Sorry about that. I had to get her some snacks. Like, I thought we were closing out this episode, but nope. We got 20 minutes left.
พี่ดันคุยกับแม่เร็วจัง จริงๆคุยนานกว่านี้ก็ได้นะยังรอได้
ขอบคุณครับ
I'm sure he comes often.
ขออภัยพะยะค่ะ เจ้ามหาชีวิต
Did he die? Or is he awake? Music says he's awake. Got it.
เนื่องจากเจ้ามหาชีวิตทรงฟื้นแล้ว พระองค์จึงมีรับสั่งกับเราให้เรียกประชุมราชวงศ์เราจึงเชิญทุกท่านมาในวันนี้
ทางทวิตเมธาขอแสดงความยินดีด้วยที่องค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตทรงฟื้นแล้ว
ผู้ชมพิสุทธิ์ขอแสดงความยินดีกับข่าวดีนี้ด้วย
He said begrudgingly.
ขอให้พวกเราเข้าเยี่ยมเลยได้หรือไม่
เราต้องขอขอบใจในความห่วงใยของพวกท่านที่มีต่ออัศวเทวทิน แต่พระอาการยังน่าเป็นห่วง ยังคงไม่สะดวกให้เข้าเยี่ยมในตอนนี้
คิดว่าวันนี้จะได้มีโอกาสได้เข้าเยี่ยมองค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตซะแล้ว
ถ้าไม่ให้เข้าเยี่ยมแล้วนัดประชุมราชวงศ์คืออะไร
พระองค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตทรงมีรับสั่งถึงการแข่งขันราชประเพณี พระองค์ทรงต้องการให้การแข่งขันดำเนินต่อไป
Okay.
องค์เจ้ามหาชีวิตเนี่ยทรงคิดว่าให้การแข่งขันราชประเพณีเป็นไปอย่างดั้งเดิมน่า
Yeah,
จะ
of
ดีกว่า
course. We're not going to do the
คือ
archery
การ
again.
แข่งขันฟันดาบรอบสุดท้าย แล้วตัดสินแพ้ชนะไปเลย
ขออนุญาตเจ้าชายชารินกระหม่อมมีเรื่องจะแจ้งให้ทราบ
เชิญเจ้าชายธนา
กระหม่อมได้ไตร่ตรองมาดีแล้ว เพื่อความปลอดภัยของทายาท
You gonna
ทางทวิตเมธา
withdraw?
จะไม่
I don't like
เข้าร่วม
that.
การแข่งขันราชประเพณีต่อ ทั้งนี้ก็ขึ้นอยู่กับท่านหญิงเอวา ลูกสาวที่เราภาคภูมิใจ
หลานทุ่มเทกับการฝึกมาตลอด สิทธิในการแข่งขันของทวิตเมธาเนี่ยเป็นสิทธิ์ของหลานตามทำนองครองธรรมอยู่แล้ว
หญิงจะพิสูจน์ตัวเองให้ท่านพ่อได้ดู ฝีมือการยิงธนูของท่านหญิงยอดเยี่ยมมากเพคะ
หญิงตั้งใจฝึก เพราะหญิงไม่อยากแพ้ใคร และอยากพิสูจน์ตัวเอง
ขอบพระทัยสำหรับวิสัยทัศน์ของท่านหญิง
I don't know if I love the
น้องหญิงเองก็
little
เรียก
hairs
ร้อง
that
กฎ
she
หมาย
has
ความ
like
เท่าเทียมได้
this.
ดีมากเลยนะ
หญิงอยากพิสูจน์
But
ว่า
it's fine.
การที่หญิงเป็นผู้หญิง ก็ไม่ได้ทำให้ด้อยไปกว่าใคร จนกระทั่งเจอเหตุการณ์วุ่นวายในการแข่ง
การแข่งขันครั้งนี้มันไม่ใสสะอาดแล้วนะเอวา
น้องหญิง
ทำให้รู้ว่าการแข่งครั้งนี้ก็แค่เกมชิงอำนาจ หญิงไม่จำเป็นจะต้องพิสูจน์อะไรเลย ทวิตเมธาขอถอนตัวไปค่ะ
I mean, I guess. Sure.
ฉะนั้นเราขอสรุปว่าการแข่งขันฟันดาบจะเหลือเพียงแค่2 ตระกูลเท่านั้น คืออัศวะเทวาทินและผู้ชงพิสุทธิ์ราเมน
Yeah, they needed to yada yada that in order to, have the final fencing match in the last episode between We all knew that it probably was going to come down to a fight between Kanin and Ramin. Like, they've been set up as, protagonists, antagonists, narrative foils throughout the entire series. So we all knew that it was going to come down to the two of them. I just thought it was going to be maybe she had to withdraw because of her injury in the last one or something. Or maybe she just takes an L, because we all knew from the beginning that fencing wasn't her strongest necessarily. So maybe she would just take a completely reasonable and understandable L, which is fine. Like, if she does her best and loses, then she knows that she's done her best. But I guess I don't know. It doesn't feel right, but at the same time, I see they're trying to justify why they want just Kanin and Ramin at the final episode. They've decided that she's content though, so I'll accept it. They haven't done enough with Ava's character this series for me to get a real feel for her outside of wants to prove that women are equal. That was her whole personality, like the entire show. We haven't gotten much with her. She's a bit competitive because of that. And she's a little bit reserved because her father doesn't let her do anything because he, for a long time, just considered her, as a woman, she shouldn't do certain things. She's a little bit sheltered. But other than that, we don't really know much about her. So it's hard to gauge if this feels like a satisfactory conclusion to her story and her competition story, I mean, because we've gotten I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe I'll understand
ไม่มี
by
อะไร
the
ขัดข้อง
finale.
ใช่ไหม
เสด็จพ่อ กระหม่อมขอแสดงความคิดเห็นได้ไหมพะยะค่ะ
Are you also withdrawing?
กระหม่อมคิดว่าสถานการณ์ในขณะนี้ยังไม่ค่อยเหมาะนักที่จะจัดแข่งราชประเพณีต่อ พวกเรารอให้พระอาการขององค์เจ้ามาชีวิตดีขึ้นก่อนดีกว่าไหมพะยะค่ะ
คงจะไม่ได้ เพราะพระองค์เป็นคนรับสั่งด้วยพระองค์เองว่าให้การแข่งขันดำเนินต่อไปให้เร็วที่สุดเท่าที่จะทำได้ เรายังมีอีกเรื่องที่อยากจะแจ้งให้ทุกคนได้ทราบ ทางสำนักราชวังจะประกาศถึงเรื่องการสิ้นพระชนม์ของเจ้าชายวสินทร์จากอุบัติเหตุในระหว่างการเดินทางและหลังจากนั้นจะมีการส่งสารแสดงความเสียใจไปยังเหล่าญาติสายรองของมีนานักครินทร์
Okay, finally.
การตัดสินใจอันนี้ดีที่สุดแล้ว
Yeah, we're gonna actually get extended kin and actually like select a new head family from them. Or I imagine it must be bloodline related, so whoever is next in line has to probably step forward. Oops, sorry.
แต่เรื่องการปกครองหัวเมืองมีนานครินทร์จะทำยังไง ในเมื่อเจ้าชายวสินทร์ไม่มีทายาท
ให้ทางมีนานครินทร์แต่งตั้งผู้นำจากความเหมาะสม จะดีหรือไม่
เห็นด้วยกระหม่อมสำนักพระราชวังต้องคัดเลือกผู้นำที่มีคุณสมบัติที่เหมาะสม
ความคิดของรามินดีมาก แต่ผู้นำไม่ใช่ตระกูลมีนานครินทร์เนี่ยน่าคิดนะ
การที่เราปกปิดความจริงให้กับทางมีนานครินทร์ก็ถือว่าเป็นการให้เกียรติเพียงพอแล้ว
เช่นนั้นเราคิดว่าให้ทางสำนักราชวังคัดเลือกผู้นำของมีนานครินทร์ที่เหมาะสมมา แล้วเราค่อยหาเรื่องนี้กันอีกครั้ง
แล้วเหตุใดทำไมเราถึงไม่ให้ประชาชนมีนานครินทร์มีสิทธิ์เลือกผู้นำด้วยตัวเองหรือพะยะค่ะ
Are we about to get Jay's family being the leader for that area? Well, Jay's family is from us. Sorry, so sorry. Kanin's family's region. So would they qualify? I mean, I don't disagree. Are we at a point where we're finally discussing, do we need a leader for this region? I mean, I guess they need like some kind of mayor or governor for the cities. I guess we'll see. Yeah, why are we not having a vote? Again?
เป็นคำถามที่น่าสนใจจริงๆเป็นนินคงหมายถึงการเลือกตั้งใช่ไหม
พะยะค่ะ
ขอบใจมากสำหรับคำถามที่ตรงไปตรงมาเช่นนี้แต่เขาต้องขอปฏิเสธส่วนเรื่องผู้นำของมีนานครินทร์เนี่ยก็ให้เป็นไปตามที่เราบอกไว้ก่อนหน้านี้
The first, see, a lot of this stuff feels like stuff that should have happened earlier because this was like the first genuine conflict between Kanin and his father, right? Like an actual philosophical, political conflict. And that's something that I feel like we have actually not had a lot of in terms of like interesting conflict between characters. Outside of, everything that's happening with Ramin and Peitai. If we had had this event, this happened earlier, even just like 2 or 3 episodes ago, we could have had legitimate conversation about, hey, how do you change a monarchy, a strict monarchy like this, into something closer to an elected body? Is it even possible? How do you even suggest those kind of things?
พ่อคุยด้วยได้ไหม
Yeah, let's talk about it.
เสด็จพ่อลูก
ผิดหวังในตัวพ่อเหรอ
Clearly yes, but I'm sure you have your actual reasons,
ลูก
but
แค่นึกว่าลูกเพียงเห็นว่าเรามีโอกาสที่จะเปลี่ยนแปลง
yeah, like deciding our ruler based off a sword fight? Goofiness.
อยากให้เอมิลีมีประชาธิปไตยแต่มันมีอยู่คำตอบเดียวเท่านั้นลูกคือลูกต้องแข่งฟันดาบให้ชนะเท่านั้น
ถ้าเราชนะเสด็จพ่อจะเปลี่ยนแปลงการปกครองหรือไม่ครับ
พ่อจะทำให้ดีที่สุด
แล้วทำไมในที่ประชุมเมื่อกี้เสด็จพ่อต้องปฏิเสธลูกด้วย
สิ่งที่ลูกอยากจะทำเนี่ยคือการบอกทุกคนในห้องนั้นยอมสละอำนาจที่ตนมีอยู่
They're not gonna go for that.
มันไม่ใช่เรื่องง่ายที่ใครจะยอมแบบนั้นแล้วนะลูก
แล้วเสด็จพ่อยอม
He clearly has not wanted it this whole
Hello,
time. I'm gonna be honest. He has been the most like lackluster of leaders. That's his biggest failing for me, as he's not assertive enough for me to really trust him as a leader, regardless of anything, whether as an elected official or as a hereditary official. It's still like he has been very, passive. Let's say that. And it's clear that it's because he probably doesn't want to do this. He probably wants to just like open a little shop and have a garden at home or something. That's the vibe you get off of this man.
ลูกคอยดูเอาเองในอนาคตก็แล้วกัน
But I see.
นินเสด็จปู่ฝากพ่อมาบอกลูกด้วยว่าพระองค์ขอโทษ
them trying to rehabilitate the grandfather.
เนี่ยครับ
ขนาดพ่อบ้านคนสนิท
I guess it would, destabilize the country if everybody knew that one of the princes tried to kill everybody else.
ไม่รู้นักแค่นักใครอะไรเลย
Feeling like a failure?
ก็ควรจะเป็นอย่างนั้น
ลูกไปทำหมอกันดีกว่า
ไม่ต้องฉันขอโทษด้วยนะซาลินฉันเองก็เสียใจต่อการกระทำของฉันที่ทำกับเธอนะ
When you kept the fact that his son was alive for like 20 years from him.
ตระกูลของเราและเอมิลีทั้งนั้น
ถึงแม้ว่าข้ออ้างนี้จะทำให้เราดูดีนะ
Yeah, let's not glaze this man.
แต่เราเองก็เป็นคนที่
He's a shit
ที่
king.
เส้นทางเดินและบังคับให้เราทำทุกอย่างตลอดชีวิต ซึ่งลึกๆเรานั้นอาจจะไม่พอใจก็ได้ถ้าที่ฉันไม่บอกเธอเรื่องคณินก็อาจจะทำให้เธอเสียใจมากเลยใช่ไหม
Yes, it did. He lost 20 years with his child.
อาจจะไม่ได้ช่วยอะไรเลยก็ได้
ลูกเคยเสียใจในช่วงเวลาหนึ่งแต่ตอนนี้มันผ่านไปแล้ว เรามาช่วยกันแก้ไขสิ่งที่ผิดพลาดไปด้วยกันดีกว่านะพี่ครับ
ถ้าฉันจะตายจากไปก่อน วันแข่งขันให้ปิดข่าวไปก่อนนะรอให้การแข่งขันฟันดาบมันจบเสร็จสิ้นไปสักก่อนแล้วค่อยประกาศ
ลูกจะทำอย่างนั้นได้อย่างไร
ในตลอดชีวิตที่เราเกิดมาก็เพื่อจะทำ
Is he actually dead? And that's why he's not letting anybody see him?
และแม้วันที่เราจะตายจากไปก็จะไม่ขัดขวางความรุ่งโรจน์ของตระกูลคณินจะต้องนำชัยชนะมาให้แน่ๆเราเชื่อเช่นนั้นขอโทษคณินแทนฉันด้วย
พ่อเสียใจมากที่เป็นต้นเหตุที่ทำให้ทุกอย่างกลายเป็นแบบนี้ ลูกช่วยแข่งฟันดาบเพื่ออัศวเทวาทิน และเอาชัยชนะมาเพื่อเอมิลีลูกทำได้ไหม
All right. Is he nervous? Is it the day before the fencing match? Tossing and turning.
เป็นอะไร กังวลเรื่องพวกนี้เหรอ
นินอยากเปลี่ยนแปลงเอมิลีอ่ะนินอยากช่วยแก้ปัญหา แต่ถ้าพวกนี้นินแพ้
Oh yeah, it is the day before. Okay. I mean, if you lose tomorrow, then it is what it is. But it'll mean shit for fucking Emily, because the other guy's such a fucking horror show. Like, he should not be king.
ไม่ต้องคิดอะไร นินทำเต็มที่ก็พอ มันกดดัน
We can take the edge off.
ความกดดันที่ไม่มากเกินไป มันเป็นแรงผลักดันที่ดีนะ แต่นี่ว่ามันมากเกินอ่ะนี่นอนไม่หลับเลย
Put him to sleep.
ถ้านินนอนไม่หลับ พี่จะไม่หลับเป็นเพื่อน
We had an opportunity there.
หนักเลยนะ ไหวไหม
Ready. Alex. Alex.
I like that pop is there.
Ready. Alex. Yes.
เก่งมากลูก เก่งมาก 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 เก่งที่สุดเลย
ถ้าถึงกับชนะชลันได้เนี่ย ก็หมดห่วงแล้วล่ะ
Was he holding back or is he? He wouldn't. He would go full
งั้นนินขอ
force
แข่ง
because
กับ
he
พ่อ
wants
ต่อ
him
เลย
to
นะ
be the best.
ไปเปลี่ยนชุดมาแข่งกับนินนะพ่อ นะมาแข่งกัน
All right, let's fence against Pop. We already know he's a savage.
ฟังนะเข้ามาสิจะถอยทำไมอ่ะ ไหนมีอะไรโชว์มาให้หมดเลยอะไร นี่เนี่ยมา
Oop, you okay? He's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. No, he's about to cheat. Yeah, I was like, he's about to cheat, just like when he was a kid.
นินชนะ
กี่ปีก็มุกเดิมนะเราอ่ะ
This was a really good scene. Oh, goodness. Oh, he's not having a good time.
ไม่ต้อง ลุกขึ้นมา แกถึงจะเอาชนะไอ้คณินได้ ลุกขึ้น
The difference from the previous training session to this one. I mean, he's probably gonna lose because he's gonna be too injured.
ไม่ต้องเข้าไป ลุกขึ้นมาคำนึงอีกนิดเดียว ผู้ชมพิสุทธิ์จะเป็นใหญ่ที่สุดในแผ่นดินแล้ว ลุกขึ้นมา
Yeah. Maybe we'll have to kill him after he loses this match, because he's definitely going to lose just because of this. But obviously the dad, because let's be real. If you lose, theoretically, you may not have the chance to rule again. You're never going to have the chance to rule again in your lifetime. Unless the king dies like really quickly. But theoretically, the other father is like what, in his late 40s, early 50s, something like that. He's going to rule for theoretically another 20 to 30 years before he passes. And by that point, you will also be in like your 70s or 80s. he's never going to have a chance to rule again. And if he does, it would have to happen because the ruling king dies prematurely from like an assassination attempt or an accident or whatever. So this is kind of a one-shot situation.
เพทายอยู่หรือเปล่า คุณเพทายไม่ได้มาที่นี่เลยพะยะค่ะ
Yeah, he was really pissed, but that's probably why he's going to be super off during the competition. Because, you know, he's emotionally unstable right now due to everything, you know. All right.
มาคอยดูแลเรานี่หายดีแล้วใช่ไหมกระหม่อมบอกแล้วไงเพี่ค่ะว่ากระหม่อมหายตั้งแต่วันที่พระองค์มาเยี่ยมแล้วเพี่ค่ะ
How long has it been? 3-4 weeks, something like that? I wish we had scenes between his two dads, you know? I like the idea of him having two fathers, and neither one of them feels weird or like put out by him considering, you know, the other as a father, you know? Like, I like the idea of that, but I wish we could have some more scenes, at least one scene between father and Pop. Sir, you were gonna have to just kill your dad. I don't know what to say.
Hãyใจด้วยครับนินต้องหายใจหายใจเข้า
Calm down.
หายใจออกดีขึ้นไหมโซนะครับนี่ทำได้
การแข่งขันราชประเพณีฟันดาบระหว่างท่านชายรามินผู้ชงพิสุทธิ์
I really wanted to see Ava fencing, even if it's not her strongest, even if archery is her better, you know, field. I wish we had seen it, but I get it.
นี่คือการแข่งขันที่ยิ่งใหญ่ที่สุดในรอบหลายทศวรรษของประเทศเอ็นมารีของเรา
So many changes, such craziness.
ผู้ชงพิสุทธิ์และราชสกุลอัศวเทวาทิน
I assume the episode's about to end. We're not going to get the full fight until next episode.
Ready? Ale.
Yeah. All right, that was the penultimate episode. It was a good episode, but again, I wish that some of these storylines were happening earlier in the series. I wish we had been... Okay. I'm going to say something, and I want you guys to take it the right way, but there are a handful of things that I think have not worked overall. Like when I think about the full season, because we're about to go into the finale, and nothing that the finale does is going to fix these things, I think, that I feel about the full series. It's been an enjoyable show, but there have been things that I've noticed that are not quite working for me. One thing is that I think some of the pacing has been off, and some of the storylines have been not explored to enough depth, you know? And I think that Calvin's character didn't need to be in this series. That whole character, just take him out. We've done nothing with him. Like, even the whole off-screen dad mad about like him being part of the protest, all that, nothing burger. His romance with Jay, nothing burger. We didn't need, if we completely remove that character and all of the Jay romance stuff and just focus Jay as an activist, make Jay like, you know, Kaneen's bestie from school, you know? Not from his old school, I mean from here. Like, he has to take classes at the university in order to help him learn about Emilian history and stuff like that and culture, right? And just have Jay be part of that. And that's how Shadan, I was about to say Shadan, that's how Kaneen gets pulled into the protest stuff. Could have taken out, which is bad because I like that actor. What's his name? Nat, I think? I like that actor from watching him in Bedfriend. That's the only other thing that I think I've seen him in, I think. But he was really good in that, and I really like him. And I like him. It's not that I don't like Calvin. I like Calvin, but I think that he doesn't bring anything to the main story. He doesn't bring anything to the main story. It's not like him and Kaneen have become best friends or something, and like Kaneen relies on him for emotional support when things are going, you know, bad otherwise. Like, no. Kaneen's best friend in the palace is CHAKRI, you know? Like, we could have boosted CHAKRI's story if we're going to have somebody, you know, have a romance. Give CHAKRI a romance. I just think that Calvin's storyline could have been completely removed, and the whole romance half of Jay's story could have been completely removed. The story with his sister, meeting his sister, all that could have happened with Kaneen, and maybe Kaneen and CHAKRI. And instead, we could have had more room to support the other storylines, which I'm about to talk about now. As you heard from the beginning of this episode, I truly believe that Shadan has had the weakest development of the series. Like, his character, the only change that we've seen about his character is him loosening up towards romance with Kaneen. We had a slight shift in his loyalties from listening to the king to listening to Kaneen, but that was like really early stuff, to be honest. And then his character has kind of stagnated for like 7 episodes, I feel like, personally. Leaving the whole story about what happened with his mom for the penultimate episode doesn't feel right to me. I feel like we should have had it earlier. We should be able to understand who Shadan is based on his family history much earlier. The fact that he's known all this time that it was the king's order that put his mom in a car with Kaneen's mom on the road and Kaneen on the road, and that's where they died. If he's known all this time and this is not something that he's finding out with us, then it shouldn't have been a secret from us. We at least should have known. Now, I understand them not telling Kaneen immediately because he might be afraid that Kaneen's going to take it weird or, you know, yada, yada, yada. So we could have gotten some really interesting angst out of Shadan about that. Maybe some feelings of weird responsibility, like maybe he thinks that his mom wasn't able to protect, you know, Kaneen's mom, so he feels guilty about it. You know, like if we had actually talked about how Kaneen and Shadan felt about the accident that killed both their mothers earlier, we could have had some interesting conflict between Shadan and Kaneen. Not necessarily like really bad conflict that makes them break up or anything like that. Like, I mean, like just, you know, points of tension between them. Something that will challenge their relationships with each other. That's something that I think has been missing from the show, is that I don't feel like there's been any genuine conflict between these two other than let's get together and it's not appropriate for me to be with you because I'm of a lower class. But once they got together, we've had pretty much no conflict between them. And I kind of wish there was. I kind of wish there was more conflict between them. Not like stupid misunderstanding storylines. I mean like ideological differences. Maybe Shadan is more traditional, and so he has ways that he thinks that the country should be culturally, politically, and it's counter to what Kanin thinks and wants, right? Maybe something like that. Or again, a weird feeling, even though his family is not responsible and he's not responsible, but like a weird feeling of some responsibility or guilt that, you know, his mom wasn't able to protect the princess, and thus maybe that makes Shadan want to protect Kanin even more, be even more strict or even more intense about trying to protect Kanin. Or maybe it's not even about a guilt thing about his mom, because his mom died, you know? Maybe it's more like, you know, my mom died to protect you, and it's my duty to protect you too. And so it's not just about the king asking him to be the guard and Kanin asking him to be his guard. It's also about him feeling a responsibility based on the fact that his mom died trying to protect the family. And so he feels, you know, even more indebted to his duty and his vows, right? Like, I don't know, we could just get, I just wish we had, if we had this storyline earlier, we could get more characterization for Shadan, so we could see how he's feeling about things outside of the romantic aspects. I feel like we know everything there is to know about how he feels romantically, but we don't know him, you know? Yes, he's very, you know, loyal to the family, but to the ruling family. But I don't know, I just wish we could get more of his thoughts, you know, and and a change in his thoughts. Like maybe he feels one way about the way the country is and the way their families are in the beginning, and he gets something, and he thinks something different now. But I feel like that has never changed for him. He has been devoted to this royal family, I'm sorry, I can't say it, I'm sorry. But, you know, Kanin's family. He's been loyal to that clan. That has not changed at all. He just felt a little slightly uneasy about the king, but even the king they glazed. Even the king, they took the edge off of the king being, you know, kind of a piece of shit, a secret piece of shit. Like, they even put it all on the guy who died last episode, right? So now the king, now we no longer have any conflict, really, true conflict with Kanin and the king or Shadan and the king. You know? Like, imagine if the king had been actually shady, had actually had something to do with the death 20 years ago, or some of the shady stuff that happened now. Like, I still think some, like the attack on their home and maybe even the attack outside the bar that one time could have been the king. Like, not that he wanted to actually harm them, but that he was doing it to manipulate Shadan and Kanin especially, into doing what he wants. Like, I feel like we could just make him shadier, you know? But it's like, I feel like this episode like completely removed any, you know, any genuine accountability from him, other than he felt like, oh, I feel bad that I kept the secret from you, my son, and I guess I failed Emily, but that's about it. Are we gonna have him be genuinely responsible for his mining practices? I need that in the last episode. I need him to be truly honest about the fact that he fucked up and people are dead. That this is all my fault. And what is he going to do to rectify it? It's just die quietly in the hospital and then let his son do all of it and his grandson do all of it? I don't know. But like, if we had kept him a little more morally gray and edgier, I think we could have had some really interesting stuff there. Like, Kanin doesn't want to just win just to win. He also wants to win to remove his grandfather from power, because his grandfather can't fucking be trusted anymore. Like, let's do something interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, let's give Kanin a real desire and reason to win. they hinted at it in this episode that he's going to try and win so that his father can start the work on changing them to a democracy, right? And I'm fine with that, but I wish we'd had that conversation again earlier so that we could see Kanine and his father actually working towards that as a team. You know, what are they actually going to do to make this happen? And just have us have that with them. Like, let's go along with that ride with them. You know, I don't know. I just feel like we spun our wheels a little bit with some of the show in the middle, instead of getting to the heart of the matter on all of these storylines. And I truly think that Shannon got the worst end of it, in terms of like his characterization and his character growth. We should have had more conflict between Shannon and Kanine. Even little stuff. Like, let's talk about the fact that Kanine became a prince, and after like 2 weeks, he became the kind of prince that likes to throw his power around. Let's actually have a conversation about that between Kanine and Shannon, where he feels kind of weird that he like started power abusing him. Like, remember the early episodes where he was like using his power to order him to be with him, low key? Or when he went to his grandfather and forced him to be his guard? Like, let's have conflict. Let's have Shannon feel some kind of way about that. Feel like you're starting to slowly become just like your grandfather, whom you hate, and you understand that he's, or I don't want to say hate, but you understand that he's corrupt. Like, don't let power go to your head. Like, let's have that kind of conflict between them. It doesn't need to be, like I said, it doesn't need to be misunderstanding stuff, goofy stuff like that, or jealousy, useless conflict like that. I want interesting, if you're going to have a story with a prince, let's have interesting conflict between them that is related to him being a royal and related to power, examining power, you know? I don't know, like, or let's have an actual conversation about the fact that Shannon kept his told him point blank that his dad was dead. And then we resolve that without any like genuine, conversation between Shannon and Kanine, where Kanine felt some kind of way about it. Like, I'm not saying it needs to become a whole blowout thing where they separate for 3 episodes or anything like that, but like, let's actually have genuine tension between them. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who feels this way, but I do truly wish that we had a little bit more friction, and it wasn't, I feel like everything has been very smooth for Shannon and Kanine's relationship. Other than the, they got together, episode 6, 7? They finally, had sex for the first time. Yeah, 7. But that was like half a season ago, y'all. That was half a season ago. And from then to now, we have not had barely any genuine conflict between them. I don't know. I think we could have just done more there. And it could have helped with Shannon's characterization overall. I feel like Kanine's interiority we understand really well. I think that we've been living kind of with him and in his journey and in his head pretty strongly. So I don't feel the same way about Kanine's character. Just Shannon's, really. I feel like we know everything there is to know about Petai and Ramin. I feel like their story has had the most dimension in terms of their personal story and their actual thoughts, their feelings. Like, we understand why they do the things that they do, truly. Although even that story, I think this whole breakup between them should have happened a couple of episodes ago. Maybe before this, before the competition started, perhaps, or maybe in the after the first, imagine if we had this happen after the first competition round, where he stood up on the podium and brought up about domestic violence and violence against children, etc. and they're feeling, you know, really high and really close to each other after that. And then we have that moment with the father where he makes Ramin put his foot on his head, and then he does that, and then Paitai feels like everything that he said in front of the camera was bullshit because he did this. You know, he didn't stand up for him here. Like, we could have that disappointment happen earlier, and then for the next 4 episodes or so, we could have had, you know, Ramin come to grips with the choice that he made there and make it up to Paitai, and, you know, like, actually have a journey of him reconciling that part of him that wasn't able to protect him, you know? I don't know. I think some of the storylines could have been paced better if we'd gotten rid of Calvin's character, just condensed the first 2 episodes, the events of the first 2 episodes into 1 episode, so that we'd have an extra episode in there to actually focus on any one of the weaker storylines. The investigation into the moms and that storyline, or the stuff with Ramin and Paitai, or Ava's character, who's been kind of nothing burger. Like, she disappears for whole, like, sections of the show. Like, we could have built up and supported all 3 of those storylines if we had just gotten rid of everything having to do with Calvin and Jay's romance. Hell, we could probably get rid of Jay's character and just have all of that stuff happen with CHAKRI. Like, imagine if we gave CHAKRI the sick sister storyline, got rid of Jay's character, CHAKRI moved that whole storyline back to near the gold mines, etc. And CHAKRI's family is the one that had the whole sickness, and he's serving, and yada yada yada. And, like, we built up CHAKRI's character, and that would also allow us to condense some of that storyline so that, again, Kanin's best friend would be CHAKRI, his butler, and we could get some interesting power dynamics there of CHAKRI is working for this family, but this family is also responsible for his father's death and his sister's sickness. And so he also wants to join the protest. We could have him in a mask. We could have a whole thing where he's at the protest. He got the day off, but actually he went to go protest. And then Kanin finds out, sees him without his mask on or whatever, and we could have like a whole storyline there. But we could, again, condense that whole thing and make it more personal for Kanin too. I don't know. I just think that we could, you know, slightly shuffle some things around to give us more room. Because we basically are going to have 1 hour to wrap up the fencing, the final fencing match, wrap up the protest storyline, wrap up Calvin being taken back to his family storyline, wrap up Paitai breaking up with Ramin, wrap up Ramin dealing with his father because his father is going to be on a fucking tear because we know that he's probably going to lose, you know? He's probably going to lose, which means that his father is going to lose his fucking shit on him. And so that's going to crescendo. What else do we need to wrap up? How are we going to sit? How is the country going to settle? Are we going to just have Kanin's dad as the next king? Is the grandfather going to die? You know, we need to resolve that. And then I guess we have to have some kind of romantic final moment. Maybe a wedding even. Either way, I feel like that's a lot of stuff to cover in 1 hour of television. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I think that's all I want to say for this episode. I hope you guys don't take the criticisms the wrong way because I truly have enjoyed the series, but I've just seen some slight story, some story weaknesses that I think could have made the show overall a little bit better. If we had tightened up some places and let some other storylines breathe a little bit more. Yeah. I don't know. Just my personal opinion. You know, take it or leave it. All right. we'll go ahead and finish up. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Go on over to Patreon if you want early access to this show, as well as early access and full-length access to other shows. In terms of what's coming next, I will be replacing this show with Pit Babe Season 2, baby. I also very soon will start releasing, actually by the time you guys are seeing this, I will be deep into Desire the series, or ABO Desire, over on Patreon. Also Whale XOXO and Us the series. I also will have wrapped up Love Between Fairy and Devil. That wraps up for me next week. And I start Story of Cunning Palace. Cunning Palace. I never know how to say it. I start that right after Love Between Fairy and Devil. So if you're interested in C-dramas, check those out. What else? I feel like I'm missing. I always feel like I'm missing a show whenever I sit here and talk about what I'm watching right now. I might start another BL. Not sure which. A Thai BL, I think. I might start another Thai BL. Other than Pit Babe Season 2, I mean. Or maybe I should jump into a Japanese show. It's been a while since I watched a Japanese show. I still have to watch the second season of Chaser Gang W. Also, there's a couple of shows that have caught my eye. There's that new, this is not a queer show. Or, I mean, there might be queer characters in it. J-dramas will sometimes have queer characters in their non-like BL, GL shows. But, what's the show with Sato Takeru? That's coming out. It's like a stacked cast. It's not just Sato Takeru. It's like a bunch of people in this one. I think it's going to be on Netflix or something. Where he's like a musician. It's a music show or something. That's coming out soon, I think. Really soon. So maybe I'll watch that with him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the mood for something Japanese. I might be in the mood for something Japanese. So I'll see. I guess it depends. Maybe I'll just film it myself and then release it with you guys later. Maybe not release it while I'm filming it. So, I don't know. All right. That's enough channel talk. We'll go ahead and end it here. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever, but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die.